When exactly was Jesus born? Was it on December 25th, or was it another day? Did the Bible tell us a calendar date, or do we need to look carefully at clues hidden in stories, history, and real-life events from long ago? Today, we're going on a journey. One that starts with a simple question, but slowly opens into an exciting story that mixes the Bible, history, stars in the sky, and the everyday life of people who lived more than 2,000 years ago. This story is not a mystery meant to confuse us. Instead, it is like a puzzle, where each piece gently fits together. And by the end, even kids can understand why Christians talk about Jesus' birth the way they do, even if we cannot circle one exact day on a calendar with a red pen. Let's begin at the very beginning. Long before Jesus was born, the Bible promised that a Savior would come. This Savior was called the Messiah. The prophets in the Old Testament spoke about him hundreds of years earlier. One prophet, Micah, said the Messiah would be born in a small town called Bethlehem. Another prophet, Isaiah, said a child would be born who would be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. These promises told people who the baby would be and where he would be born, but they did not tell the exact date. So when the time finally came, God used real people and real events to bring Jesus into the world. The Bible tells us that Jesus was born during the time when Caesar Augustus was the ruler of the Roman Empire. This is very important because Roman emperors are part of history books, not just the Bible. Caesar Augustus ruled from 27 BC to AD 14. That gives us a clear time window. Jesus had to be born sometime while Augustus was emperor. The Gospel of Luke also tells us that there was a census. A census is like a big counting of people, where everyone had to go back to their hometown to be registered. Because of this census, Joseph and Mary traveled from Nazareth to Bethlehem. This journey was long and tiring, especially for Mary, who was going to have a baby very soon. This census connects the Bible story to Roman history. Romans were very organized record keepers. They loved counting people, land, and money. So this was not a fairy tale moment. It was a real historical event. Another important name appears in the Bible story, King Herod. Herod was the king of Judea when Jesus was born. We know from history that King Herod died in 4 BC. This tells us something very important. If Jesus was born while Herod was alive, then Jesus must have been born before 4 BC. This may sound confusing because we often think Jesus was born in the year 1, but our calendar was created many years later, and it has some mistakes in it. Historians now agree that Jesus was probably born a few years earlier than year 1. So already we are learning something interesting. Jesus was likely born between 6 BC and 4 BC. Now let's talk about shepherds. The Bible says that on the night Jesus was born, shepherds were out in the fields watching their sheep. This detail might seem small, but it is actually very important. Shepherds did not usually stay out in the fields at night during the cold winter months. In Judea, winters could be chilly and rainy. Most scholars believe shepherds stayed in the fields at night during spring, summer, and early fall. This suggests that Jesus was probably not born in the middle of winter. This does not mean celebrating Christmas in winter is wrong. It just helps us understand the likely season of his birth. Another fascinating clue comes from the stars. The Bible tells us about wise men, also called magi, who saw a special star in the sky. This star told them that a king had been born. These wise men were not kings themselves. They were scholars who studied the stars and the skies. In ancient times, people believed that important events on Earth were sometimes shown by signs in the heavens. Astronomers and historians have studied the sky patterns from long ago. Some believe the Star of Bethlehem could have been a rare alignment of planets like Jupiter and Saturn, which happened around 7 BC. Others think it may have been a special bright star or comet. Whatever it was, it appeared at a time that fits perfectly with the years before 4 BC. Once again, history and the Bible gently point to the same time period. Now let's talk about December 25th. The Bible never says Jesus was born on December 25th, so where did that date come from? Many years after Jesus lived on earth, Christians began celebrating his birth. They chose December 25th for special reasons. One reason was that it helped Christians focus on Jesus during a time when people already had festivals. Another reason was symbolic: light coming into the world during the darkest time of the year. So December the 25th is not meant to say, this is the exact birthday of Jesus. Instead, it is a chosen day to remember and celebrate his coming. Let's look again at the birth story itself. Mary gave birth to Jesus in Bethlehem. There was no room for them in the inn, so Jesus was placed in a manger. A manger is a feeding place for animals. This shows how humble his birth was. Even though he was the Son of God, he did not come as a rich king in a palace. He came as a tiny baby, surrounded by animals and ordinary people. Angels appeared to the shepherds and told them the good news. The shepherds hurried to see the baby and then shared what they had seen and heard. This tells us something beautiful. God chose regular people, not powerful leaders, to be the first ones to hear about Jesus' birth. When the wise men finally arrived, much later than the night Jesus was born, they brought gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. These gifts showed that Jesus was a king, a priest, and someone who would suffer. This also helps us understand the timeline. The wise men did not arrive the same night as the shepherds. By then, Jesus was likely a young child. This, again, fits with Herod's actions. Herod became afraid and ordered that baby boys be killed. This terrible act shows how serious the timing was and how real the danger was. So, can we say the exact date of Jesus' birth? The honest answer is no. We cannot name the exact day and month with certainty. The Bible does not give us a calendar date. But what we can say is this: Jesus was born in Bethlehem. He was born during the reign of Caesar Augustus. He was born before King Herod died. He was likely born between 6 BC and 4 BC. He was probably born in a warmer season, not winter. These facts come from both the Bible and history, working together like two friends telling the same story from different sides. Why didn't God tell us the exact date? Maybe because the most important part is not when Jesus was born, but why he was born. The Bible focuses on his mission, his love, and his purpose. Dates help us understand history, but faith helps us understand meaning. Jesus came to bring hope, forgiveness, and peace. His birth changed the world, not because of a calendar date, but because of who he was. Now let's bring this all together. We started with a question that sounded simple. What is the exact date of Jesus' birth? Along the way, we discovered Roman emperors, kings, shepherds, stars, and ancient towns. We saw how the Bible fits beautifully into real history. We learned that the story of Jesus is not a myth, but a real event that happened at a real time, to real people. Even without knowing the exact day, we can be sure of this: Jesus truly was born. God truly came to live among us. And now, what should we do as Christians today? Knowing that Jesus truly entered history should remind us to live our faith every day, not just on special holidays. Since Jesus came humbly, we should live humbly. Since he came to love and save, we should show love and kindness to others. Instead of arguing about dates, we should focus on following his teachings, loving God, loving people, helping those in need, and sharing the hope that Jesus brought into the world.